Good morning, or whatever time it is for you when you're watching this. If you're joining me in the replay, you can say #replay. I'm Jennifer DeVue, life coach, hypnotherapist, host of Tune Into You meditation podcast. And today I want to talk about motivation and a really easy way that we can actually find motivation for things. And the reason that this works is because so many of us spend so much of our time just thinking about what's wrong, what's missing, what's in the gap. And we actually rarely just take a moment to actually think about, what do I really want? And what would that actually create in my life? And just simply asking ourselves a few key questions, which I'll share in a moment, can really kick in this ability for us to feel that motivation that we've been missing. Good morning. So, my intention with this video is that you are going to start whatever that passion project is, or whatever that dream life would be for you. You're going to start doing that. And whatever it is that maybe you haven't gotten yourself to do, or you've been putting off or avoiding, that actually is something that starts to feel easy, starts to feel like you're being pulled towards it rather than kind of trying to push yourself or force anything. I really love this simple, super simple motivation hack, because motivation is something that so many of us can kind of use as the scapegoat for why we're not where we want to be or who we want to be. And after this video, you won't be able to use that scapegoat anymore. So you'll have to come up with something else to stop you from living the life of your dreams. Okay. So, in addition to this little cognitive hack, we're also going to be using that in a visualization to start to really dive deeper into imagining what your life can look like when you really start to do those things that you really feel called or passionate to do. So here's the hack. I want you to think about that thing. What do you want to feel motivated towards? Is it finally writing that book? Or maybe it's writing like once a week even. Or maybe it's, really start putting yourself out there in your business. Or maybe it's, um, you know, clean more often. I don't know. What do you want to feel motivated to do? What do you want motivation for? Okay. Now that you had a moment to think about that, I want you to really just take a moment with me and imagine, what would your life be like in 1 year if you had succeeded? If you'd been doing it, and just pick one thing, and it can be so small. You'd be like, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to like write or journal or just let words flow out of me once a week. It could be so small. And I want you to just get the energy of that. Get the energy of your life 1 year from now. You did it all year, successfully, easily. Just getting the energy of that. And now I want you to get the energy of your life in 5 years. What would your life be like? Feel it in your body. Just get a sense of it. Imagine it. And I want you to remember this, because we're going to come back to this in our visualization. And now here's the new part. It's the other side. And when we look at both sides, that's when motivation can really start to happen. So my next question is actually, what would your life be like in 1 year if you don't? If you continue as you are, as you're going, and you never get the motivation to do that thing and you just don't. And just get the energy of that, your life 1 year. And then 5 years. In 5 years, your life has gone on the path as it is right now. You didn't get the motivation to do that thing. Just get the energy of that. And I have one more question, and this one can kind of stump us sometimes. But this question is what's going to really start to allow a shift to happen. And so the final question for you is, what do you get by not doing it? And you're getting something. And really let yourself go there. Really ask yourself, like, what do I get for this? What is the payoff of not writing, of not cleaning, of not putting myself out there? Whatever that motivation is for you, those are the three that popped into my head. Hmm? What do you get from that? And now, oftentimes, when we're not motivated to do something, it's because we're making that either what I'm avoiding by not doing it or what I'm getting from not doing it more important than what our life could really be like, who we would become on the other side of this thing. And when we ask ourselves these questions consciously, cognitively, and actually hear the answers, hear ourselves formulate what's been underneath the surface, we can say, oh, wait a minute. There's a chance to reevaluate. To get your conscious mind involved in that decision process that's been happening below the surface. And now we can do a little guided process to start to sink this new awareness down deeply into that subconscious part of your mind. So this will be a short guided visualization. And if you're ready to join me, go ahead and get comfortable. You can sit up, you can lie down, whatever you like. And just settling in, getting cozy. When you're ready, you can close your eyes. And I want us to start by just floating. So I'm going to ask you to imagine a lightness, a drifting, floating feeling, almost like you're lying on a cloud. Or you're laying in a clear, calm, shallow pool of comfortable water. Just floating, drifting, breathing. Breathing calm, comfort. This softness, gentle comfort, and lightness. Starting in your limbs, moving through your body now. Just imagining yourself just floating. And then drifting down into a beautiful garden. Maybe a place you've been before, or perhaps now for the first time. Take a look around the garden, just noticing the colors, the shapes. Shh. Come here, Kiki. There are kitty cats in the garden and they're meowing. And then I want you to notice that up ahead, there seems to be a door. And notice the color of the door as you walk up to this door. And on the other side of this door are all the possibilities. All the possibilities for the next 5 years of your life. And they're like big shiny bubbles floating in an empty space. And go ahead and open the door. And as you move into that space, there are so many different colored bubbles, different sizes, shining, floating, magically suspended. And as you take a look around, you'll notice that one of those bubbles seems to be the brightest, shiniest, most beautiful bubble in the whole room. And I want you to step up to it. And as you look into the bubble, you begin to see that light and get that sense of that energy and what that would be like. And if you can imagine just moving into the bubble, or perhaps the bubble morphs out over you, and you find yourself for a moment in that future possibility. Seeing your own 2 feet, noticing where you're standing, what's around you, who's around you. And you might see colors or shapes, or some sensation or feeling may arise. Whatever you notice here is just right. And you can bring the most important part, that feeling, back with you. As you step back into the present. And you can wrap that feeling around you now like a cloak. Maybe it has a color or a texture. And bring it all the way back with you to the room. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Thank you. Thank you for being here and joining me. I encourage you, anytime you want to feel motivated towards something, ask yourself these questions, every single one of them. And then visualize what you really want. And the more often we imagine and visualize and spend time with what we really want and desire, the less time we have worrying about what's wrong or what's not working. And the more of what we want we'll actually get to experience. So much love, so much honor, so much gratitude to you. Thank you for joining me today. Namaste. Yeah. I'm glad that Kiki could wake you up, Jason. She's doing her job. Mwah. Love you guys. I'll be back on Monday, and also check out the newest episode on Tune Into You Meditation podcast if you haven't already. That will also have another episode coming out on Monday. And I just released a new video on YouTube, and it's pretty raw, pretty real, and there are some other ones on there that are fun to watch as well if you haven't checked out the YouTube Tune Into You channel yet. Okay, mwah. Love you guys. Next time, bye.